Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. There is an expression in life, I'm sure you've heard it, and it certainly applies to boxing. There is no substitute for experience. And Galal Yafai had his third professional fight on the Abu Dhabi card and scraped by with a split decision win over GOHAN Rodriguez, an unheralded Mexican fighter. The scorecards were, I think they were too close. I mean, it was 96-95, I think. 2 for Yafai and 1 for Rodriguez. But I had it 97-93 to Yafai. But this wasn't an exciting fight by any stretch of the imagination. But this was only the third fight for Yafai in the professionals. And yes, we know he's an Olympic gold medalist, and Hearn has been bigging him up, and, you know, the best prospect in boxing and so on and so forth. Well, Hearn would say that, wouldn't he? Of course he would. And he has the skills, he has the raw materials, but he started his professional career in a 10-rounder in February this year. He won it in 5 rounds. He picked up the WBC International Flyweight title, which gets you a ranking. And clearly, absolutely evidently, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are trying to fast-track him. He then followed up that win in April with a 2-round stoppage, or a defence of that international title. And this was his second defence. Now, GOHAN Garcia came in with 12 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw. The defeat was a split decision, I think, 4 years ago in a 4-rounder. 22 years old, this Mexican kid. Didn't know anything about him, but he came to fight. And when I say fight, I mean fight. He wasn't boxing. He was coming in, and he was just the sheer volume of punches he was throwing. Huge hooks, swinging hooks. And Yafai, clearly the cleaner, more well-schooled fighter, as you would expect from an Olympic gold medalist, walking forward, throwing sharp punches. A southpaw Yafai. Rodriguez was orthodox. And you thought, Yafai is surely going to sort of soften this guy up and maybe stop him on his feet. But it didn't work out like that. In fact, as the fight progressed, the sheer volume of punches, he was like a wasp buzzing around your head, Rodriguez, seemed to sort of trigger some sort of frustration in Yafai, and he stopped being, I'm almost tempted to say this is the way it appeared, I could be wrong about this, he stopped thinking so much in there and started to get very frustrated and sort of try to rely on power more. And it doesn't look to me like Yafai is a banger. It looks to me like he is the type of guy who will get stoppages through intelligent box fighting and attritional wear and tear on the opponent. Well, Rodriguez, GOHAN Rodriguez Garcia is actually his surname, but he goes by Rodriguez, I think. He wasn't going anywhere. His chin proved to be very good, at least as far as the firepower of Galal Yafai was concerned. And he was going in, just swinging forward, and he was landing punches. Why was he landing punches? Because Yafai showed some very, very suspect boxing traits which he needs to iron out double pronto if he's going to seriously fight the very best in these lower weight divisions. Rodriguez landed on several occasions, landed very, very good uppercuts. There was one round, it might have been the third, where he landed 2 uppercuts bang on the jaw of Yafai in quick succession. I mean, there was 2 or 3 seconds between the two of them. And Yafai continued to walk in a straight line. There was no pivoting, no feints. It was just a case of stick the jab, walking in a line through the front door, and Rodriguez or Garcia, what is his name? Rodriguez or Garcia. He's got 2 surnames. We'll go with Rodriguez. Rodriguez was saying, "You coming in the front door without knocking? That's a bit rude. Here's something for you." And he was firing punches back like they were going out of fashion. Wild punches. There was some mauling. Yafai, it looked like Yafai was, at times, was smothering his own work. But I think, looking back, it was probably Rodriguez leaning forward and 6 of one, half dozen of the other. He was just firing so many scrappy, mauling punches that he kind of... It kind of turned into an ugly fight, and it wasn't an exciting fight. All these rounds were pretty much the same. Now, I gave 3 rounds to Rodriguez just on sheer attrition. When Yafai was getting a bit frustrated and was looking to land power instead of consistent jabs and hooks and punches off the jab. I was thinking, okay, he's winning. He's won a few rounds. He's edged a few rounds, Rodriguez. But for it to be a tight split decision, I think that's a bit much. I think definitely the cleaner work came from Yafai, and yeah, all right, okay. I mean, maybe 66, get it right, 96, 94, that would be pushing it, but 3 scorecards, 96, 95, and for one to give it to Rodriguez, I thought was a little bit generous to Rodriguez. Although Rodriguez, he came to fight, he came to win, 22 years old, he can come again, no question about it. But if Galal Yafai is going to, he's obviously being so incredibly fast-tracked into world level, into world title fights, that if he's going to win them and win belts and keep them and actually be competitive and beat the very best, he's got to iron out these flaws. No walking in straight lines. For Christ's sake, shore up your defence a bit. The uppercut was landed. There were some overhand rights that, I mean, they were huge swinging overhand rights from Rodriguez that landed. You know, Yafai seems to be under the impression he can just walk through anyone, or eventually that attritional style of that box fighting style of his will get to the opponents. We saw his brother Cal make a comeback and nearly come a cropper in the first round against an unheralded Filipino, and they've got a similar style. The come forward, more or less upright, high guard, bang 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 with a jab, and then work the body to head to body. But Galal, it seems to me like he's got more tools in the box than he's actually using right now. So, and of course, you know, if you look at Lomachenko, he lost his second fight. He lost his second fight to Salido. He was, you know, Salido old-manned him, basically. Outmanned him, old-manned him, yeah, you know. And Loma, as brilliant and as incredible as a technician as he is, didn't have that professional experience. He was learning at a very high level from the word go. I don't think Galal Yafai should be fighting for a world title anytime soon. I think he needs several more 10 rounders. The one saving grace is that this 10 rounds is good for Yafai. He got out of jail with a split decision. Could have gone the other way, apparently, according to the judges. I didn't think so, but the judges said yes. Galal Yafai has to go back. He's 29 now, so he's not young for a flyweight, for one of the smaller guys. Definitely not. But I just think he's been hurried too much, and I think he needs to go back and train very, very hard on his defence. He needs to vary his work. Don't keep walking in the front door. You know, use your feet. Give some angles. Give some pivots. You know, a guy like this, a guy who's crude like this, shouldn't be getting anywhere near you. But he was. He was cuffing him and scuffing him, and like I say, the uppercuts ran, the overhand rights were going in. And where was Yafai's bodywork? Where was that consistent bodywork to take some of the sting out of the guy, to take some energy away? It wasn't there. So not a good performance, I don't think, by Galal Yafai. Although for a third professional fight at this level, yeah, should we be that surprised? I don't think so. But what did you think of the fight? Did you watch it? If so, leave your comments below. I always like reading your comments, I really do. And thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you are new and you could subscribe, that would be fantastic. And, you know, please like the video if you liked it. It all helps the channel. You know, we're a growing channel. Leave your comments below, though. This is an interesting fight, I thought. Not an entertaining one, but intriguing. What do you think about Galal Yafai? Do you think he can go very far? Like I say, I want to hear your opinions. Thanks for listening. We'll speak again sometime soon. In the meantime, take care and bye-bye for now.